Sophie woke up with a start, her heart racing with excitement. Today was her best friend Mia's birthday, and Sophie had been planning a surprise party for weeks. She had kept it a secret, and today was the day everything would come together. The plan was to gather all of Mia's friends at the park near their neighborhood, where they would celebrate with games, presents, and a big birthday cake. Sophie quickly got dressed and headed downstairs, where her mother was already in the kitchen, preparing a batch of cupcakes for the party. The kitchen was filled with the sweet aroma of vanilla and chocolate. "Morning, sweetie," her mother said with a smile. "Ready for the big day?" Sophie nodded eagerly. "I can't wait. Mia's going to be so surprised." Her mother handed her a cupcake. "Here, have a taste. I made these especially for the party." Sophie took a bite and closed her eyes, savoring the delicious flavor. "They're perfect, Mom. Mia's going to love them." After breakfast, Sophie and her mother loaded the car with all the party supplies, balloons, streamers, a piñata, and, of course, the cupcakes. They drove to the park, where Sophie's father and older brother were already setting up the decorations. "Hey, Sophie," her brother called out, waving a handful of streamers. "Where do you want these?" Sophie looked around, envisioning the perfect setup. "Let's hang them over there by the picnic tables. And we can put the balloons around the gazebo." As they worked together, the park began to transform into a colorful celebration space. The gazebo was adorned with bright streamers and balloons, and the picnic tables were covered with festive tablecloths. Sophie felt a rush of excitement as she imagined Mia's reaction. By mid-morning, everything was ready. The guests began to arrive, each one bringing a wrapped gift for Mia. Sophie greeted them with a smile, grateful for their help in making the surprise party a success. "Mia's going to be so happy," said Emma, one of Mia's friends. "This is such a great idea, Sophie." Sophie beamed. "Thanks, Emma. I just want her to have the best birthday ever." As the clock neared noon, Sophie's mother received a text message from Mia's mother, letting her know they were on their way. Sophie gathered everyone by the gazebo and handed out party poppers. "Okay, everyone," she whispered. "When Mia gets here, we're going to yell, 'Surprise!' and pop these. Got it?" The group nodded in unison, their faces lit up with anticipation. Sophie felt her heart race as she spotted Mia and her mother walking toward the park. "Here they come," Sophie whispered, motioning for everyone to get ready. As Mia approached the gazebo, her eyes widened in surprise. The moment she stepped inside, everyone shouted, "Surprise!" and the party poppers went off, filling the air with colorful confetti. Mia's face lit up with a mixture of shock and joy. "Oh my gosh! This is amazing! Thank you, everyone!" Sophie ran up to her and gave her a big hug. "Happy birthday, Mia! We wanted to make this day extra special for you." Mia hugged her back, tears of happiness in her eyes. "You did, Sophie. This is the best birthday ever." The party was in full swing. They played games like sack races, tug of war, and a scavenger hunt. Laughter filled the air as the kids competed and cheered each other on. Sophie couldn't stop smiling, knowing that all her hard work had paid off. After the games, it was time for the piñata. The kids took turns trying to break it open, their excitement growing with each swing. Finally, Mia managed to crack it, and a shower of candy and small toys rained down. The children scrambled to collect the treats, their faces glowing with delight. Next came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the cake. Sophie's mother brought out the beautiful birthday cake, decorated with Mia's favorite colors and topped with candles. As they sang "Happy Birthday," Mia closed her eyes, made a wish before blowing out the candles. Sophie watched her best friend, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. Seeing Mia so happy made all the effort worthwhile. As they enjoyed the cake and cupcakes, Mia opened her presents. Each gift was met with squeals of delight and heartfelt thank yous. Sophie had saved her present for last, a handmade scrapbook filled with photos and memories of their friendship. "This is for you, Mia," Sophie said, handing her the wrapped gift. "I hope you like it." Mia carefully unwrapped the present and gasped when she saw the scrapbook. She flipped through the pages, her eyes filling with tears of happiness. "Sophie, this is incredible," Mia said, hugging the scrapbook to her chest. "Thank you so much. I'll treasure it forever." The party continued with more games, dancing, and fun. As the sun began to set, the guests started to say their goodbyes, each one thanking Sophie and her family for the wonderful day. "You did an amazing job, Sophie," said Mia's mother, giving her a warm hug. "Thank you for making Mia's birthday so special." Sophie smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "It was my pleasure. I'm just glad Mia had a great time." As the park emptied and the decorations were taken down, Sophie and her family sat together on one of the picnic tables, watching the last rays of sunlight dip below the horizon. "You did a fantastic job, sweetie," her father said, patting her on the back. "We're proud of you." Sophie beamed. "Thanks, Dad. I couldn't have done it without all of your help." Her mother nodded in agreement. "You showed a lot of creativity and leadership, Sophie. You made this day unforgettable for Mia and everyone else." Sophie felt a warm glow of happiness as she reflected on the day's events. It had been a lot of work, but seeing the joy on Mia's face had made it all worthwhile. As they packed up the remaining supplies and headed home, Sophie couldn't help but think about how much she had enjoyed planning the party. She realized that she loved bringing happiness to others and creating memorable experiences. That night, as she lay in bed, Sophie thought about the future. She imagined all the other celebrations and events she could plan, each one bringing joy to the people she cared about. With a smile on her face, she drifted off to sleep, dreaming of new adventures and the happiness she would continue to spread. The next morning, Sophie woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. She decided to start a little project of her own, a party planning club. She would invite her friends and anyone else who was interested in learning how to organize events and bring people together. It was the perfect way to channel her passion and make a positive impact on her community. Over the next few days, Sophie spoke to her friends about her idea, and they were all enthusiastic about joining the club. Together, they came up with a name, the Joy Makers. They created flyers and distributed them around the neighborhood and at school, inviting others to join their first meeting. On the day of the meeting, Sophie was nervous but excited. She had planned an agenda, including brainstorming sessions, activity planning, and a discussion about their first event. She wanted everyone to feel welcome and inspired to contribute their ideas. The meeting was held in Sophie's backyard, where her parents had helped set up tables and chairs. Her mother had even baked cookies and made lemonade for the occasion. As the members of the Joy Makers arrived, Sophie greeted them warmly and guided them to their seats. "Welcome, everyone," Sophie began, standing at the front of the group. "Thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to start this club with you. Our goal is to bring joy to our community by planning fun events and celebrations. Let's work together to make a difference." The group cheered, and Sophie felt her nerves melt away. They spent the next hour brainstorming ideas for their first event. Suggestions ranged from organizing a community picnic to hosting a talent show. After much discussion, they decided on a family fun day at the park, complete with games, food stalls, and entertainment. The following weeks were filled with planning and preparation. The Joy Makers divided into teams, each responsible for different aspects of the event. Sophie was amazed at how well everyone worked together, each member bringing their unique talents and ideas to the table. Finally, the day of the family fun day arrived. The park was abuzz with activity as the Joy Makers set up booths, arranged games, and decorated the area. Families began to arrive, and the atmosphere was filled with laughter and excitement. Sophie roamed around the park, checking on the different activities and making sure everything was running smoothly. She was thrilled to see so many people enjoying themselves, from children playing games to parents chatting and relaxing in the shade. One of the highlights of the day was the talent show. Performers of all ages took to the stage, showcasing their skills in singing, dancing, magic tricks, and more. The audience cheered and applauded, creating a sense of community and camaraderie. As the sun began to set, the event drew to a close. Sophie gathered the Joy Makers together, and they all shared a moment of pride and satisfaction. Their hard work had paid off, and they had brought joy to countless people. "Great job, everyone," Sophie said, her voice filled with emotion. "We did it. We made a difference." The group hugged and celebrated their success, already excited about their next project. Sophie's heart swelled with happiness. She knew that this was just the beginning of many more joyful adventures. As the weeks turned into months, the Joy Makers continued to plan and organize events, each one more successful than the last. They hosted holiday celebrations, charity fundraisers, and neighborhood cleanups. With every event, they strengthened the bonds within their community and brought people closer together. Sophie's passion for bringing happiness to others never wavered. She learned valuable skills in leadership, teamwork, and creativity, and she inspired those around her to believe in the power of joy and kindness. Years later, as Sophie looked back on her journey, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The Joy Makers had grown into a well-known and respected organization, with members of all ages working together to create positive change. And it had all started with a simple birthday surprise for her best friend, Mia. Sophie knew that she had found her true calling. She had discovered the magic of spreading joy, and she was determined to continue making the world a brighter place, one celebration at a time.